Well, good morning, Arkansas. Major winter storm is expected as we get through the weekend. Friday night through Sunday, winter storm watches have been posted for most of Arkansas. And this event does kind of start to look potentially historic. I don't throw that term around lightly. I've grown up in Arkansas. I've covered Arkansas weather my entire life. You just don't get storms like this too often. Precip rates are very heavy. So whether you see sleet, snow, or freezing rain, it's going to be a lot of it. I want to go over the overnight data, but before I do that, I want to talk about our banking partner, First Community Bank. They have been so good to us. They have locations all over the state. Whether they have a location in your town or not, they can help you out, and they have helped us out immensely. Go see First Community Bank at a location near you. They care about the people in the state, as do we, and I think they'd be a really good fit for you and your family. All right, let's get into it. Overnight Euro data has ticked north with the freezing rain, and that's a big concern. Now, it's very common for data to shift north a little bit in the days leading up to a winter storm. I can recount example after example after example where there's been a small shift north, and then it ticks back towards the south the closer you get. Friday afternoon and evening, I think that's when the precipitation begins to start. It's likely going to start as freezing rain and sleet in central Arkansas, freezing rain in south Arkansas, snow up in the north part of the state. As we get into Saturday, the precipitation rates just become heavier and heavier. Now, you look at this graphic and you go, all right, how is Little Rock getting freezing rain with the temperatures at 14 degrees? Well, it's actually happened in our state's history. It's not common, but it has happened. And obviously, if you get any type of rain with temperatures in the low 20s or teens, it's over. Everything's frozen, and that freezing rain is accumulating to everything. Very heavy snow. That zone, I think, is favored in North Arkansas, the northern 2 to 3 rows of counties. Again, the latest overnight Euro, it's got freezing rain and sleet all the way into central Arkansas. I do think that's going to happen. It's just a matter of, does it stay that way the whole time? So as I take this out through Saturday, it's got us locked in with freezing rain and sleet. Again, as we go through the next couple days, there's a chance that this does shift further back towards the south. The storm does not end until Sunday. We're expecting major issues to travel and infrastructure as we go through the weekend. All right, let's look at our map. I've updated it 6+ inches for the north, almost half of the state, except I've moved that freezing rain to sleet to snow zone a little further north. A major ice storm is possible in south Arkansas, and there is a possibility it extends into part of central Arkansas. So keep that in mind. The probabilities right now, and we're almost done showing probabilities. We'll just make our own forecast as we get closer and closer. 6-inch snow probabilities, very, very high up in North Arkansas, even down to the Russellville and Searcy corridor. They've dropped in central Arkansas, and that's because the freezing rain chances have increased. 12-inch snow probabilities, over 40% from Harrison to Clinton to Batesville. So that just gives you an idea on the top end totals we're looking at are probably between 12 and 18 inches up in the northern part of the state. There is going to be a zone of significant sleet. I think this zone is a lot wider than this model depicts, probably extending down into central Arkansas with some heavy amounts of sleet. Some of the model data forecasting lots of sleet before there's any transition to snow. And that can cut down on snow totals, especially in central Arkansas. But the main concern has to be, where does the heaviest freezing rain set up? This is the National Blend of Models, NBM. It's got 1/2 to 3/4 inch freezing rain amounts down in south Arkansas. And again, that would be a catastrophic ice storm. It's starting to tick up with ice amounts in central Arkansas as well. And this would be a very significant ice storm because winds will be at 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts to 25 to 35 miles per hour. I do want to point out the overnight Euro data went crazy with freezing rain amounts all the way up into central Arkansas. You see it's got over 1 inch of ice along the I-40 corridor southward. That would be extremely devastating. I want to show it to you because you'll see it on social media, and I want to give you context. I wouldn't just buy it just yet. You want to prepare for it? That's great. Get your generator, maybe prune some trees, but I think there's a good chance that a lot of this may be sleet in central Arkansas. That's been the historical track record for us as we've gone through the last few years when freezing rain is forecast in central Arkansas. South Arkansas, that corridor from El Dorado, Texarkana, Monticello, 278, US 82, major ice storm is anticipated. And at this point, I would plan for long-term power disruptions. And yeah, not a good situation. Also want to point out that with ice accumulation, we've got winds that'll be from gusting from 30 to 35 miles per hour. So any ice on the trees and power lines, there's going to be some trees and power lines that come down. So this is a huge deal. We'll see how much ice ends up being forecast for central Arkansas, but this is going to be a bad deal for most of the state. With snowfall in North Arkansas, 25, 30 mile per hour wind gusts, you're expecting extremely low visibilities. With the power and infrastructure issues that we expect, I think temperatures are going to be below freezing for about 4 days. So frozen pipes are going to be a big deal. You need an alternate heat source. Highs on Saturday are going to be in the teens. It's not much better as you get into Sunday. And then as you get into Monday, and then again on Tuesday morning, lows are likely going to be in the single digits. And I think there's a chance that some lows go below zero up in North Arkansas. You see North Arkansas, there are a few locations that get below 5 degrees, even down into South Arkansas. So if you don't have power and you have pipes that are exposed, I mean, we're just talking about all kinds of issues. So it's just a perfect storm, a mixture of ingredients: the heavy snow, the sleet, the freezing rain, the potential for power and infrastructure issues. Make your preparations the next couple of days. I'll be winterizing some things at my mom's house, trying to cover some exposed pipes. If you lose power, though, unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot you can do unless you have an alternate heat source. And you know, check on your loved ones, check on those who maybe need a little bit of help fending for themselves. This is it's just one of those storms that we're going to remember for a very, very long time. Download the Arkansas Weather Network app. It's going to give you all the alerts you need. It'll give you our latest daily forecast right here, and it'll also give you interactive radar, future radar, so you can track things as they're moving into the state late Friday into Saturday. So big time storms on the way. Everybody stay safe out there. Make your preparations before midday on Friday.